Hey! Hi, how you doing? This is Ryan, and welcome back to the Gamertron Show. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for me to pay the piper. I messed up. With my last few videos, I have been a hypocrite. I've contradicted myself. I've gone against my own personal principles and beliefs. You see, I used game sales and player numbers to make my arguments. I'm a monster! In my last few videos, my video about friend slop, my video about co-op games, and my video talking about modern day gaming in general, I showed the total sales numbers and concurrent player count for a few games to showcase my sources and back up my argument that co-op games are popular and having a bigger cultural impact than ever before. I'd like to believe I presented my arguments well and in good faith, but upon further reflection, I realized, hey, am I kind of, sorta, somewhat becoming the person I hate and criticize? That person being online media grifters who try to use concurrent player numbers and total sales in order to argue whether a game is good or bad, using popularity and success to judge quality. You see, I am in complete agreement with content creator DQ Roman. Highly recommend the guy. Please follow and subscribe to him on TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube. He's fighting the good fight against toxic online gamer bullshit. Anyways, I'm in complete agreement with him when he says,
and it only hit 30,000 players. That's really bad.
Shut up. I will pay someone to explain why I should care about Steam player counts. This has become one of the most embarrassing trends amongst gamers I've personally seen in my lifetime, is obsessing over how many people are playing a game on Steam. Now, we'll ignore the obvious counterpoints like Game Pass numbers, multi-platform stuff, all this stuff that contradicts the talking point. Tell me why I should care. Only 3,000 people are playing this game on Steam. Okay. What now? But even then, we'll exclude multiplayer games because single-player games is where these guys do this at. Why in God's wonderful fuck do I need to know who is playing a game? I guess the better question is, why do these people need to know? Because if the answer is it's a correlation to how good the game is, like Asmongold is arguing in this clip, all you're doing is admitting that you're a trend follower. No opinions of your own. Bigger numbers means better game. Like, these frauds care more about a company's financials than they do the actual quality of a game. And it's because that's the audience that they've cultivated, so they have to. I will never take these people serious. The second you start pulling up Steam numbers to validate any type of point, I'm tapped out. You got it. Argue with the wall. I'm not encouraging that behavior by making you believe that that shit is something worth talking about. Bully your local Steam numbers poster and gimme kiss.
and he's right. I agree wholeheartedly. Please, bully your local Steam numbers poster, myself included, while I would still, in vain, try to argue that I was using Steam player numbers to help back up and validate my argument that co-op games are more popular than ever before. It doesn't change the fact that that's not what really matters in the end. You shouldn't be playing Lethal Company, R.E.P.O, and Peak. You shouldn't be playing Helldivers 2, Space Marine 2, or Elden Ring Night Rain just because they're popular, just because they sold well, just because they have high player numbers. The actual quality of the game, the actual quality of the art, the quality of the product is what matters in the end, and sales and popularity does not equal quality. It never has. So I want to check myself with this video and make this correction, because grifters like Legendary Drops, Asmongold, Endymion TV, and Legacy Killer HD, that's right, I'm naming names here, they would have you believe that a game is only worth playing if it is popular. I promise you, hell, I'd bet money on it, that these motherfuckers would never have talked about or mentioned video games like Schedule 1 or Hollow Knight Silksong if it wasn't for the hype surrounding these games. They're scavengers. They don't give a fuck about a random drug-dealing indie game or Hollow Knight. They see a trend, and then they hop on it. They're no better than the video game industry that they criticize. Oh, how dare all these publishers try to make everything a live service and a battle royale. They're just chasing trends instead of trying to be original and creative. And yet all of you bozos made like a dozen videos on Concord and Dragon Age the Veilguard when that was the internet's punching bag for the week. None of you motherfuckers even played Concord, and yet you still milked that shit for content. Get the fuck out of here. You are not serious people. You have nothing of value to contribute. Anyways, besides the point. Popularity should not be the sole dictating factor as to whether or not you play or enjoy video games. You will miss out on genuinely life-changing experiences if you do so. While I absolutely adore when indie video game developers find massive success with their projects, I am so happy to see how well Hollow Knight Silksong is doing and how much people are loving it. A roguelike poker game like Balatro becoming a beloved darling? Ugh, it warms my heart. Blue Prince coming out of absolutely nowhere. A roguelike puzzle game that's getting the sales and critical reception that it is. Originality is still alive and well in gaming, and I'm glad to see it being welcomed with open arms. However, how many of you have played or even heard of indie games like Abyssus, Dead Zone Rogue, Morose Protocol, Kyborg, Cast, Herdling, Suit for Hire, Imperial, Spiritfall, Immortal Hunters, and the list goes on and on and on. Look, I adore that more and more indie games year after year are making it big. Before, years ago, it was like an average of 2 or 3 indie games a year that would break out into the mainstream. Now, month after month, you never know what little gem is gonna come out of nowhere and make video game history, leaving a massive new cultural impact. I love it, I love it. But it doesn't change the fact that there are still hundreds, if not thousands, of indie video games that never see that kind of success. Games and developers that go underrated and unknown. Even though these are quality video games that deserve to be played, they deserve to be experienced. But some dumb motherfucker on the internet will try to argue, oh, look at the player numbers, oh, look at the sales, must be a bad game, didn't do well. If you genuinely believe that shit, you are a fool, you are brain broken. I guess Tainted Grail Fall of Avalon is a shitty game then, because it never surpassed 30,000 concurrent players on Steam. Aw man, didn't even sell 1 million copies. You know that means it's gotta be bad. Of course, anyone who's actually played the game would call you a fucking idiot for having that take. But of course, grifters and their sheep audiences unironically have that very take about many games. Games that they've never played and were never going to play. What's genuinely dangerous about this rhetoric is that it leads to people trusting these grifters and they end up spending their money, wasting their money, and being disappointed by the games they purchase and play. This should be obvious. I shouldn't have to point this out, but everyone has different tastes and preferences. Just because something is popular doesn't mean you're magically all of a sudden going to like it, that you're going to enjoy it. How have we forgotten this? And why are so many allowing grifters to push this narrative? For example, Schedule 1. Game blew up. Super popular. I have no interest in it. Never gonna buy it, never gonna play it. The aesthetic and the gameplay loop just doesn't interest me. Had I purchased and played it just because everyone was hyping it up, I would have wasted my money and just had a shitty time. But that's not a knock on the game. That's not a condemnation on the quality of the game. I myself am just not interested in it. And that's how the vast majority of people are with the vast majority of games. No one likes everything. It's statistically improbable. And we should all keep this in mind in our recommendations, our conversations, and debates concerning gaming. Or really all art and media and products in general. The general human experience is a diverse, intricate, and versatile one. Who we are, what we consume, what we create is so much more than just numbers accumulated. Last example, last argument. Outer Wilds. Many people consider that video game a transcendent, transformative experience. That it is a pinnacle showcase of the kind of unique art form that video games are. If you've played Outer Wilds, tell me, would your experience with actually playing the video game have been altered or affected in any way if you knew how many people had actually bought the game and were playing the game at the same time as you? I think I know the answer, but I dare not put words in your mouth. I will say this though. The topic of concurrent player numbers in a video game should only be relevant to PvP multiplayer games. These games are predicated on playing with other people. If there are no other people to play with, the game becomes unplayable. I should know. I'm a fan of Gigantic. But of course, if anyone brings up Steam player numbers and total sales when talking about a single-player video game, in the words of DQ Roman,
I'm not encouraging that behavior by making you believe that that shit is something worth talking about. Bully your local Steam numbers poster and gimme kiss.
Indeed, Roman, indeed. Anyways, that's been a video. Thank you for watching. If you did indeed like the video in any way, shape, or form, please be sure to hit the like button and leave a comment in the comment section down below. Share your thoughts, feelings, and opinions on this topic. If you want to help out and support the video, please share it on social media, Twitter, Reddit, Facebook, Discord. And if you want to support me directly and help me keep doing this YouTube thing, please consider making a donation via the Super Thanks feature here on YouTube or clicking on the links to my Buy Me a Coffee and Ko-Fi, links in the description down below, if you want to make a financial contribution that way. Anyways, that's been a video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all later.